Have you ever torn open a fresh bag of beef jerky or bitten into a warm bagel and wondered what kind of journey those foods went through before ending up in your hands? Most of us grab these snacks at gas stations, grocery stores, or coffee shops without giving a second thought to the history, the technology, and the sheer scale of production that makes them possible. Yet behind every chewy bite of jerky or golden ring of bagel is a fascinating story that combines centuries-old tradition with cutting-edge food engineering. Today we're taking you deep into the world of two of America's most beloved foods, beef jerky and bagels, to see how they go from raw ingredients to mass-produced favorites lining store shelves across the country. Whether you're a road trip snacker, a breakfast lover, or just someone curious about how everyday foods are made, this journey will leave you seeing your favorite bites in a whole new way. Beef jerky's story starts long before it became a modern convenience store staple. Native Americans and early pioneers relied on dried meat to survive harsh winters and long journeys. Back then, jerky was about survival. Lightweight, packed with protein, and able to last without refrigeration. Over time, this survival food evolved into something more indulgent, infused with spices, marinades, and smoke to transform plain meat into something crave-worthy. Fast forward to today and jerky is no longer just for cowboys on the trail. It's a billion-dollar industry powered by global supply chains, sleek factories, and a never-ending demand from protein-hungry consumers. From road trips to hiking trails, jerky has earned its place as an iconic American snack. The modern jerky process begins with large cuts of lean beef sourced from specialized cattle farms. Fat is the enemy of jerky because it spoils quickly, so skilled workers trim away every bit of excess fat and sinew, ensuring only the leanest portions are kept. Imagine entire slabs of beef lined up for inspection, each one weighed, measured, and scrutinized before being approved. Quality and consistency matter here because even a little extra fat can ruin shelf life. Once the beef is trimmed, it's chilled and staged for the next big transformation, turning raw meat into those thin, flavorful strips you tear into straight from the bag. The slicing stage is a marvel of modern machinery. Chilled beef slabs are fed into high-speed slicers that carve them into perfectly even strips. Some factories process thousands of pounds of beef per hour, creating uniform slices that set the stage for flawless jerky. These strips are then sent into massive tumblers or vats filled with marinades. Salt, sugar, spices, and sometimes preservatives mixed together in carefully crafted recipes designed to give jerky its distinctive taste and long shelf life. Some brands use top-secret blends, while others experiment with bold flavors like teriyaki, barbecue, or fiery chili. Tumblers keep the meat moving, ensuring every strip soaks up maximum flavor. Some facilities even inject marinades directly into the beef for a deeper punch of taste. Here's something fun to think about. If you had to pick one jerky flavor to keep forever, would you stick with the classic smoky original or go bold with spicy or sweet teriyaki? Food factories know this debate fuels innovation, which is why you'll find an ever-expanding range of flavors on store shelves. Once marinated, the strips are ready for drying. This step is what transforms wet, seasoned meat into the chewy, preserved snack we know. Marinated beef is carefully laid onto racks and rolled into enormous dehydrators. Imagine ovens the size of a small room, designed to blow hot, dry air across the meat for hours at a time. The process is slow and controlled, balancing just enough heat to drive out moisture without actually cooking the beef. Computers monitor the temperature and humidity down to the last degree, ensuring each strip comes out with the right chewiness and concentrated flavor. Some facilities introduce smoke into the process, adding layers of aroma and depth, while others rely solely on airflow for a clean, pure taste. This careful drying is what gives jerky its remarkable shelf life. After all, the less water in the meat, the harder it is for bacteria to grow. Quality control is no joke in jerky factories. Once the drying is done, batches are pulled aside for testing. Inspectors and food scientists measure everything from weight and moisture content to texture and flavor consistency. Machines equipped with metal detectors scan each piece to catch any stray particles. Cameras pick up imperfections in color or shape, ensuring only the best strips make the cut. Any jerky that doesn't pass inspection is pulled, reprocessed, or discarded. For consumers, this means every bag of jerky on the shelf has been through a gauntlet of safety checks designed to keep the experience consistent. With quality confirmed, jerky enters the packaging stage. Automated machines portion and seal it into airtight bags, often with tiny oxygen-absorbing packets tucked inside to extend freshness. Labels are printed with nutritional information, expiration dates, and batch codes so every bag can be traced back to its origin. Packaging lines run at breakneck speed, pumping out thousands of bags per hour. From there, cases of jerky are stacked onto pallets, loaded into trucks and shipped nationwide, heading to supermarkets, gas stations, online retailers, and eventually your car's glove box, your hiking backpack, or your pantry shelf. It's a long road from cow to convenience snack, but one that combines tradition with technology at every step. Now, let's switch gears from protein to carbs, because America's love affair with bagels deserves just as much attention. Bagels originated in Poland in the 1600s, where Jewish bakers hand-rolled, boiled, and baked them for both daily meals and special occasions. Immigrants carried these traditions to New York, where bagels quickly became a breakfast staple, sold from pushcarts on busy Manhattan streets. By the mid-20th century, bagels weren't just a New York thing, they became a national obsession. Today they're found everywhere from neighborhood cafes to supermarket aisles, stuffed into lunchboxes and paired with cream cheese, smoked salmon, or eggs for the ultimate American breakfast. The factory journey of a bagel starts with the dough. Industrial mixers big enough to make thousands of bagels at once churn together flour, water, yeast, sugar, and salt. To keep bagels fresh longer, dough conditioners and preservatives are added. Inside the mixers, paddles knead the dough into a smooth, elastic mass while sensors monitor moisture and texture to ensure perfect consistency. Once ready, the dough is transferred into hoppers, feeding the shaping machines that form bagels at astonishing speeds. Shaping is where the magic happens. Dough drops into machines equipped with molds and high-speed knives. In the blink of an eye, each blob of dough is pushed through a circular mold and sliced into a perfectly round ring. Thousands of bagels are shaped this way every hour, with sensors scanning each one. Misshapen rings are automatically sent back to be remixed, ensuring uniformity. But even the perfect bagel ring isn't ready to eat yet. It still needs that iconic chewy texture. And for that, it has to take a hot dip in boiling water. Boiling is what separates bagels from ordinary bread. Conveyor belts carry rows of raw bagel rings into vats of hot water mixed with barley malt syrup. This quick bath, less than a minute, gives bagels their shiny crust and chewy bite. Old-world tradition meets modern precision here, as computerized systems maintain exact temperatures and timing so every bagel is treated equally. Watching thousands of bagels float and bubble in giant kettles is like witnessing edible history in action. Once boiled, they move straight into tunnel ovens, long chambers that use high heat to finish the bake. Inside the ovens, bagels undergo their final transformation. The heat crisps up the outer layer while locking in moisture inside. Sensors monitor every second, ensuring each bagel comes out golden brown, chewy, and ready to eat. When they emerge, rows of freshly baked bagels roll onto cooling conveyors. Air tunnels blast them with filtered air, dropping their temperature quickly to lock in freshness. Without this cooling step, bagels would sweat in their packaging and lose their texture. Finally, the packaging lines take over. Automated arms bag, seal, and label the cooled bagels at lightning speed. Cameras inspect each package to ensure consistency, while batch codes provide traceability. Within hours, these bagels are boxed up and shipped across the country, making their way to breakfast counters, coffee shops, and grocery store shelves. From hand-shaped heritage to mass-produced perfection, the bagel has traveled a long way, but one bite of that chewy golden ring reminds us why it became a national treasure. Together, beef jerky and bagels show the remarkable journey food takes from raw ingredient to everyday staple. Both are rooted in centuries-old traditions, yet both rely on modern science and automation to reach millions of people daily. Whether you're tearing into a smoky piece of jerky on a road trip or enjoying a toasted bagel with cream cheese on a busy morning, you're tasting the results of history, craftsmanship, and technology working in harmony. And that's the hidden story inside every bite, one that makes these foods not just snacks but cultural icons of the American experience. Have you ever sat down at a brunch table, spread a bagel with cream cheese, and layered it with silky slices of smoked salmon, or dipped a perfectly chilled shrimp into tangy cocktail sauce, without stopping to think about the journey those foods took to reach your plate? Behind every bite of smoked salmon or every shrimp cocktail at a wedding reception lies a fascinating story of tradition, science, and massive industrial operations hidden from everyday view. These foods might seem effortless when served in front of you, but in reality, they travel through an incredible global supply chain and undergo meticulous preparation before they arrive in pristine condition at your local supermarket or restaurant. Today we're pulling back the curtain on two American favorites, smoked salmon and shrimp cocktail, to see exactly how they're made, packaged, and delivered fresh, no matter how far they've traveled. Smoked salmon is no longer just a way to preserve fish for survival. It's a premium delicacy, a symbol of luxury at brunches and holiday tables across the U.S. The story begins with whole salmon, sourced from the cold waters of Norway, Chile, Scotland, or Alaska. But here's a surprising fact. Most of the smoked salmon you see in grocery stores doesn't come from wild-caught fish. Instead, it's farmed salmon, raised specifically for consistency in size, fat content, and year-round availability. This predictability is crucial for large-scale factories that need steady supply lines. Wild salmon, like the prized Alaskan sockeye or king salmon, are leaner, firmer, and deliver a bold, complex flavor, but they're far less predictable and usually reserved for premium, small-batch products that command a higher price. Once the salmon arrives at the factory, it's carefully handled by skilled workers or robotic arms designed for precision. The fish are scaled, gutted, and filleted with speed and accuracy, separating the rich flesh from the bones and skin. Each fillet is then weighed and checked for color, texture, and any defects to ensure only the best cuts move forward. Quality control at this stage is key, because once the process begins, only flawless salmon will transform into that silky, smoky delicacy we know and love. The transformation begins with curing, a step that has been used for centuries to preserve fish and enhance its flavor. The fillets are layered into trays and generously coated with salt, sometimes mixed with sugar, herbs, or spices depending on the flavor profile the factory is aiming for. This process isn't just about seasoning, it's about chemistry. Salt draws out excess moisture, firms the flesh, and creates an environment where bacteria struggle to survive. Depending on the recipe, curing can take anywhere from a few hours to a full day. Factories that want a firmer texture may let the process go longer, while those looking for a softer, melt-in-your-mouth finish might keep it shorter. And with flavors ranging from classic salty to dill, peppercorn, or even maple smoked salmon, there's something for every palate. But curing is only half the story. To become smoked salmon, the fillets must next encounter smoke. After rinsing and drying, the fish are carefully placed on racks and loaded into smoking chambers. Factories might use hot smoking, which fully cooks the fish, or cold smoking, which leaves the salmon silky and moist while infusing it with deep, smoky notes. Cold smoking is the traditional choice for that smooth, buttery texture Americans love on bagels and canapés. The smoke itself comes from smoldering wood chips or sawdust, often oak, beech, or apple wood, and the flavor it imparts is just as important as the salt in defining the taste of the final product. Inside the smoker, temperature, smoke density, and humidity are controlled by sophisticated computer systems, ensuring every batch tastes exactly the same. Hours later, the salmon emerges with its golden sheen, aromatic fragrance, and unmistakable flavor. From there, precision slicing takes center stage. High-speed machines cut the salmon into thin, even slices, the kind you see neatly fanned inside vacuum-sealed packages. Every slice is inspected for bones, color consistency, and texture. Factories reject anything less than perfect, because smoked salmon is as much about presentation as it is about taste. Once portioned, the slices are carefully weighed, stacked, and sealed into airtight trays. Vacuum packaging preserves freshness and locks out bacteria while keeping moisture inside. Labels are printed with batch codes, expiration dates, and traceability details so every piece can be tracked back to its source. Finally, the sealed trays are packed into boxes, rapidly chilled, and loaded onto refrigerated trucks. Within days, those golden slices are sitting in the deli section of your supermarket or delivered to restaurants, ready to elevate brunches, charcuterie boards, and holiday platters across America. What started as a raw fish in icy waters has now become a culinary delicacy enjoyed thousands of miles away. If smoked salmon feels like a luxury from across the ocean, shrimp cocktail tells an equally fascinating story, but one with a global footprint that's even larger. Shrimp is by far America's favorite seafood, with more than 1.6 billion pounds consumed every year. But here's the catch: almost all of it comes from abroad. Whether they're raised in vast aquaculture ponds in Southeast Asia or harvested in South American waters, the shrimp on your plate have likely traveled farther than you might ever imagine. The sheer scale of shrimp farming today makes shrimp cocktail affordable and widely available, turning what was once a luxury cruise ship appetizer into a staple at weddings, holidays, and Sunday brunch buffets. It all starts on shrimp farms, where millions of shrimp are raised in sprawling outdoor ponds or indoor tanks designed to mimic natural conditions. Over 90% of the shrimp Americans eat are farmed, largely because this method guarantees steady supply and affordable prices. Once harvested by the ton, live shrimp are immediately chilled and packed in ice to preserve freshness. Many will travel thousands of miles to massive processing plants. At these facilities, sustainability and food safety are top priorities. Farms and factories are routinely audited to meet global standards, making sure the shrimp remain safe to eat and responsibly produced. At the plant, the shrimp are first sorted by size using vibrating screens and conveyor belts. Consistency matters because uniform shrimp not only look better on the plate but also cook evenly. Next, the peeling stage begins. In the past, peeling was done almost entirely by hand, but today high-speed machines with water jets, rollers, and soft rubber fingers can remove shells from tens of thousands of shrimp every hour. For premium products, some factories still rely on skilled workers to do this step manually, ensuring the shrimp look pristine. Then comes deveining, which removes the digestive tract along the shrimp's back. This step is essential for both safety and appearance, and while automated machines handle much of it, workers often double-check for quality. Once peeled and cleaned, the shrimp move to giant vats of boiling water or steam, where they're cooked for just a few minutes, long enough to turn them pink and firm, but not so long that they become rubbery. Timing and temperature are monitored closely because even a small mistake could ruin hundreds of pounds of shrimp. As soon as cooking is complete, the shrimp are plunged into icy water or sent through chilling tunnels to stop the cooking process instantly. This rapid cooling not only locks in that snappy bite but also prevents spoilage, keeping the shrimp safe for longer storage. To preserve them for weeks or months, the shrimp are flash frozen almost immediately after chilling. Specialized freezers can solidify hundreds of pounds of shrimp in minutes, locking in freshness and preventing bacteria growth. From there, packaging lines weigh, portion, and seal the shrimp into airtight bags or trays, often using vacuum sealing or protective gas flushing for extended shelf life. Labels are applied with nutritional facts, country of origin, and tracking codes, ensuring full traceability back to the farm or ocean source. Finally, the frozen shrimp are stored in massive cold warehouses until it's time for shipment. From there, they travel by refrigerated trucks and cargo ships across thousands of miles before reaching supermarkets, restaurants, and catering companies in the U.S. By the time shrimp cocktail is served in its signature ring around a glass, chilled and paired with tangy cocktail sauce, it has gone through dozens of steps and crossed continents. What looks simple on the table is actually the end result of one of the most complex food supply chains in the world. Next time you dip a shrimp into cocktail sauce, you're not just tasting seafood, you're tasting the coordination of farmers, processors, inspectors, and transporters working together to deliver a product that meets American expectations for freshness, safety, and flavor. Smoked salmon and shrimp cocktail may seem like two very different foods, but they share a common theme. They're symbols of luxury and celebration in American dining, yet they rely heavily on global farming, advanced technology, and precise processing methods to exist in the way we enjoy them today. They remind us that modern food is never just about taste, it's about tradition, science, logistics, and the hidden networks that keep supermarket shelves stocked with delicacies from around the globe. Whether it's golden slices of smoked salmon on your bagel or a chilled shrimp perched on the rim of a glass, the journey from ocean to plate is one of the most fascinating food stories you'll ever encounter. And the next time you savor these classics, you'll know just how much effort went into making sure every bite is as perfect as you expect.